Hello friends, we are continuing with the series of videos from time series and it will go till LSTM PID. We will see how we can implement PID using machine learning. So this video we are going to talk about how to quickly generate lots of live temperature data for machine learning model testing. Say friends, actually whenever you test a model, you might need lots of data within a few seconds. So how do you generate such data? Not the real data, but you simulated data using an electronic device. So you can look at the screen. How do you generate live data useful for fast test data generation? And this can be used to test models which you have created. You can't wait for several days to generate such a data. So you can probably generate your own data, which could be a fluctuating data, a noise affected data, or it could be a cleaner data, whatever. So look at a sine wave form of data. Let's say the temperature is varying like this. Now, the online test dataset generation of a time series sine samples, let us consider you have to generate 110 points in less than approximately 25 seconds. Let's just take this as an example. You can even generate more number of points in less time too. Now, the block diagram of such a setup would look like this. Here, the most important thing is a device which I have created, which I call it a HTTP device server, which will simply digitize analog data and throw it to an Ethernet system similar to a temperature data coming from internet. So you can think like the sensor is here, a function generator which generates a sine wave, and you can even generate a noisy sine wave, whatever, and it is fed to an ADC, and this converts the analog data into a digital data, and through the Ethernet we can simply read the data every 10 millisecond or 1 millisecond or every 1 second or 10 second or whatever. Now this is up to you to read at what speed and generate this data and pass it on to a data set which can be used as a test data set. So I call this device an HTTP server, embedded HTTP server, which simply takes analog voltage and throws it into a data format. The device looks like that. This is a simple microcontroller based device. It has got an ADC and behind an Ethernet output. So the function generator which I used is a simple function generator which generates sine wave. I have chosen 0.1 Hertz. It's a very slow rising sine wave. So the period is like 10 seconds. Now the objective is actually to online read and collect the sine data, 110 points approximately, from this HTTP server device, which is connected to a sine wave signal generator as I showed below earlier, and write immediately to a CSV file. So that means you are creating a data set, test data set in a CSV file. And you can also, as I said, you can also generate a distorted sine wave, which could be a more noisy kind of temperature data. That is also possible. That is an advantage with this kind of a setup. So the Python program to read a sine wave data online for 110 points using this particular device would look like this. You have to simply use the NumPy and the matplotlib for plotting. These are the libraries, and I use a library called HTTP client. So the device, the way it takes the data is like I have a command, HTTP command, which is like 192.168.1.102/rpc/port1.read. This means it's like you are going and saying that, okay, go to a site abcd.com/read my temperature, something like that. So except that this data is coming from a device which is sitting near to you, which has got this address, and this is the command to read the temperature value any number of times in a second. So defining the IP address and the path for making the HTTP request used for communication with the server. Server means a simple device, you can think. It serves the data, and generating a test signal online. The program looks very simple. You are trying to create an array of X test in the first line. Then in 110 points you have to generate. So I will say that read the voltage. Voltage is equal to read the current voltage. This is a function which I am going to tell you what it is inside. Read the current voltage and throw it into a number. Suppose the voltage is varying from -1 to +1. It will give you a voltage here. And just add into a test array, append it. So it is like, now what you are doing is you are reading the voltage from an ADC, and the function which I said, read current voltage, is nothing but it takes in the voltage and converts into an equivalent voltage and throws into the net to be read by a PC. So the function looks like that. You are simply open. You are going to, in your PC side, actually you are going to, the Python PC is going to act like a HTTP client, and server is a small device which is sitting there. As I said, so HTTP.client, HTTP connection, that is where your connection open, and you are going to execute a get command. Get command is nothing but read the temperature data. I say response is equal to connection get response. After doing all this, you will see that at the X1, you will see the current voltage coming back actually in the form of a number. This is what the entire thing shows. And last one, it simply converts into a string of 3-digit accuracy. Like let's say the temperature is divided by 2/3, like that. After that, you have to simply close the connection. This is all the function is about. At the end of the program, you will see that when we set the function generator, the sine wave is being read. These are 110 points. You can plot in the MATLAB plot. Then, if you add noise to the system from a signal generator, you will see that the sine wave which is read will also look like that. This is also very good for testing, creating a test data set which is a more noisy in like a practical case. Now, whatever data you have got X test, which is you have to simply write into a file. That is called a data set. CSV file. So what you do is you have to simply write few lines of Python code, write into a SINEWAVE.csv. At the end, you get a data set of all the values of a sine wave kind of fluctuating temperature. Now after that, you can plot it, and whatever signal you got, and you will see that this is what is coming on the screen if it is a sine wave selected with a little bit of noise. And you can pass it on to a model later, which will be taught in the next videos. And you can use it as a fast changing test data set. So you can do a live classification or live regression or whatever actually, or live forecasting you will be able to do using this data in the future. So wait for the next videos. Thank you.